FF bring you a podcast with upside.
What is going on? Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to episode 12 of a podcast with Upside. I'm your host, Jay Felicio, and you can find me on Twitter at GmenJ. With me, as always, is my right-hand man, the rocket to my Groot, Mr. Dan Turner. You can find him on Twitter at EagleDanFF. What's going on, Dan? I know you're excited. You got a fun weekend going on.
I do. It's bachelor party weekend, so you can expect me to be obliterated drunk in about 24 hours.
Well, we better see plenty of videos and pictures and all that stuff on Twitter. So some drunk I love you phone calls, stuff like that. So
100% going live at some point.
Absolutely fantastic. How many days is it till the wedding?
57.
That is coming up close. And shout out to Katie, your fiance, who is graciously allowing you to go to the expo after your wedding. So that is a very special woman.
1 week after. 1 week after.
That you got to give her a lot of credit. Plus, she's a Giants fan, so we know she's got good taste. But
yeah.
Well, with us tonight, more importantly than you, not more importantly than your fiance, but got a very special guest, somebody who we are good friends with. First time on our show. We've been on his show. Yes. Cal you can find him on Twitter at Calvin and Hobby. Are you a Calvin and Hobbes fan, or was it just a play on words that you liked?
I grew up a Calvin and Hobbes fan just because my name is Cal, and obviously anything with the name Cal. So like Cal Ripken was my favorite baseball player.
Okay. That was going to be my next question. So.
Yeah, There was that connection there. California is my favorite state. Calzone is my favorite food.
There we go.
Anything,
I love it. Absolutely. Well, you can find his work at DLF Football, and he's also the co-host of the Vipercast with Dynasty Vipers. Anything else that you want to plug?
No, that's it. I am going to have the team series coming up on DLF, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. It was a lot of fun. You guys were both on that show for your respective teams, and we had a lot of fun doing it. I can't wait to do it again. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Great time on that show.
No doubt. Well, tonight we are going over, we've all chosen somebody to be my guys, basically quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. But before we get into that, what we like to do here is we start with 5 questions. It's a little icebreaker. Cal has not seen these questions. Nothing too crazy, just to have a little fun. For our viewers who don't know you, get to know you a little bit. So starting with number 1. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Okay, this is going to be a maybe a more controversial opinion than actually having an opinion. I don't have an opinion on this. Like, I don't care. It's your pizza. Do whatever you want on it. If I am at a party and it's on a piece of pizza, I don't really care. I might eat it. I might not. Like, hey, live and let live. If you want to put pineapple on your pizza, put pineapple on your pizza. I'm not going to judge you. It's fine.
I fully expected that type of answer from you, Cal, because you're such a nice guy. So I get that. I used to be team anti-pineapple, but I actually like it now. So I'm Italian. My family wants to disown me, but if you get it with red pepper and ham, it's just those 3 together. The red pepper, the ham, the pineapple is just Dan, I can tell you.
I don't like hate it. I personally wouldn't do it, but if that's what you like to do, go for it.
We do have some friends in the chat. We got our guy Joey. I don't know what he's saying there, but all right. And Reed, who was the last entry in for the videos, he got in. And Nick, you are banned from the chat with the Go Bruins talk.
You can't ban Nick from the chat.
Yeah, I like Nick too much.
Nick is a good man.
I don't like the Bruins talk. I don't like any Boston sports teams.
I don't like the Bruins either, to be fair.
Yeah, and Nick said, "What's up, Dan?" Apparently, Cal, you and I don't matter. It's just Nick and Dan now. So
yeah, that's it.
With that being said, Question number 2. This is a pretty easy one, but it's been a pretty good one. We've asked most people this. Dream guest for any of your podcasts. It could be anybody from anywhere in time, anywhere in history.
Anywhere in space.
Right.
Boy, that is a good question because there's so many possibilities that open up with that, right? Gosh, okay, this is the one that came to my mind, and this is a whole different part of my personality that most people don't know. So that's kind of what the point of this is, right?
Right, 100%.
One of my favorite people in all of history is Martin Luther. I love Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther of the Protestant Reformation, who was basically his own man standing for what he believed in, despite literally no one believing in him. And I remember a history teacher telling me a story about him that was talking about how he basically was pulled in front of people saying, like, will you renounce this? And he's like, give me a day to think about it. And everybody was like, gosh, he's been so bold. I can't believe he needs a day to think about it. And he said, look, how am I the only person? Like, I need to make sure that I'm not the only person that thinks this way. I got to just give me some time to make sure. And I love that thought process. And even that thought process, you should bring to your fantasy analysis, right? Like, you should be a person who makes sure, like, you really do believe what you believe. But when you believe it strongly, even if you're on an island by yourself, you should stick to your guns.
I could not agree more. That's a fantastic answer. I love it. Nick agrees.
Say, as a history major / nerd, I'm just going to clap for that one. That was the best answer to any question we've ever asked on this show.
I'm not a history buff, but I agree. That was a fantastic answer. I do know who Martin Luther is, so that was a good one. We've got our guy Marty in the chat. What's going on, Marty? And then Eric is a fan of pineapple on pizza.
He's also in the contest tonight.
He is, as is Marty. So, question number 3, and we are giving away a Scott Fishbowl 11 spot tonight. We've got how many people? 10 people who are already in via a video, and then we have 5 spots to give away during this show via trivia. So if you are not in and you want to be, step number 1, make sure you're signed up at scottfishbowl.com.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1.
Yes.
Make sure you're following the podcast, Dan and I, and go ahead and throw Cal in there as well. But we will be running a 100-yard rush at the end, and we have 5 spots left. Dan has some nice trivia for us. After first question, Dan will be asking after the 5 questions. So question.
But real quick, though, even if you did the 10 videos, if you answer the question correctly, that's an extra spot for you as well. So you can have 2 spots.
Correct. Yep. And we are going, the first person to get it correct that posted in the chat, we are going by the time in our chat. So just be ready for that. All right. Question number 3. 3. All right. You are a New Orleans Saints fan. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So right now, who has a stronger arm? Drew Brees or the little kid from the Cam Newton Play 60 commercial?
I think in the long run, by the end of the season, probably the little kid in the Cam Newton commercial. Okay. Brees has like 4 or 5 good strong games in his arm still, probably. So if I got one game, I'm probably going him. But it was always those late season. You could tell that average depth of target would just start trending down, and
So right now, game on the line. You're at the 50-yard line. You need a Hail Mary. Who do you want out there, Drew Brees or that little kid?
But keep her up, though.
He's keeping in good shape. I've been seeing him post these CrossFit videos where he's pulling his sled and all that. So
when I saw that and he had yet to announce his retirement, I'm like, he might be thinking about one last ride. But
we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, number 4. We were talking a little baseball before we started. If you played in Major League Baseball, what would be your walk-up song?
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is so funny because I asked this question like on all of our Behind the Grind shows that I do with the Vipercast. I have asked this question over and over and over again. And I've literally said a couple of times, like in the last couple of weeks, like, gosh, I don't know what mine would be. Like I've asked this to so many people. But I actually, because I was thinking about it, I came up with the one that I think is the best. And again, it's going to go back to this theme of I love things that Cal, like if it says Cal, like I love it. California Love, Tupac and Dr. Dre. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That would be my walk-up song right there.
Okay. Fantastic.
Solid
Great
choice.
answer.
Solid choice.
Absolutely. All right. We got one more for you, and this might be my favorite question that we've come up with. It's the zombie apocalypse. Who are the 3 people from the fantasy community that you want to be in your camp?
Oh man.
Eric said his walk-up song would be "It's Raining Men."
Oh gosh, and the zombie apocalypse, like you're not just picking your favorite people, you got to find some resourceful people, right?
Exactly.
So, gosh, who do I think are the most
another good one? Bulls on Parade for fantasy
like
ladder. That's a good option as well. Mine would be Party in the USA because I would want to get in the pitcher's head, and it would just get me going. Everybody would be hands up. That would be the way.
Some
to
Baby
go.
Shark,
Dan,
maybe.
Like Ruben Odor.
My 8-year-old son, so I coach a baseball team. He uses that "What's Up Danger" song from the Spider-Man multiverse.
That's cool.
Movie?
Yeah, which is a really cool song to walk up to. If I'm going to choose a posse, you know what? I think one of them's easy. I think one of them is Rum Boys Robbie, because that guy is a collaborator. He will get the job done. He'll build a team, and like that one probably becomes like 50 strong right there just by adding him. Right?
Absolutely. That's a
solid
great
choice.
Answer.
Solid choice.
So yeah, he's definitely one. Man, you need somebody that's going to do some dirty work though.
I think somebody came to mind as soon as I came up with this question for you, and it's probably going to be the same one for you.
Oh gosh, now I want to know who you think. So I feel like I've got to include the guy that will literally do anything he's asked to do. It doesn't matter if it's drinking a Big Mac smoothie. It doesn't matter if it's jumping through a table to become an honorary Bills fan.
Yep, that was my choice. That's the first person that came in my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, like, whatever it is, getting his chest waxed on live stream. Matt Donnelly, he's Canadian, but he's like from like the hills in Canada. Like he's like
he's Canadian. He's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
He if we need a Zamboni driver, he could fill in. You never know.
That's true.
So yeah, and it probably would stay at his house. Like his house isn't very populated, so I think that would be a good one there.
Jordan made a very good point. Robbie could probably get a zombie on Rum Boys After Dark. That's just how good Robbie is. So that is a very good point. So that's 2. You got Rum Boys Robbie. You got Matt, aka Dingus. Who else? Which sent me a nice foot picture earlier today. It's a GIF, excuse me, which was typical Matt. So
yeah, and today's his birthday, by the way. So happy.
That
birthday,
is right.
Matt.
So happy birthday, Matt. And yesterday was Dan's.
2 days ago.
Happy birthday, Dan.
2 days ago.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. That last spot, man. That's gosh, you got to complete the team and figure out like the right mixture in there. I think, I think probably you want somebody that's going to be, help you figure out like the right codes, the right way to rebuild society, at the very end. So you need somebody who's good with numbers and, maybe engineering type things. So how about I just go like way out of left field and let's go Peter Howard from DLF. And, he's a number cruncher. He's, totally fine living in his basement. He doesn't need it. He's not going to be like extra. So yeah, I'll say him.
You know what? That's a fantastic answer. I didn't think of him, but yep, that's I think you guys would make it. I really do.
Yeah, we'll make it.
And Jordan said that Matt could fight a grizzly bear. Who says he hasn't already?
He could and he would. That's the key there. It's not that he could, it's that he would.
By the way, Jay is pro grizzly bear. Like we found that out the other day. He will choose a grizzly bear over a human any chance he gets.
That dog was going to die.
You know what? I just felt like
it's not like the bear got hurt. You got to push like 3 feet.
Yeah, he's sitting there. He's chilling. He's trying to high five the dog. He's trying to make friends.
Not high fiving no dog. It's
Here comes the lady. Just
he wanted a snack. He's gonna maul those dogs.
Yes.
Yeah,
I just
high five anybody.
Put yourself in the shoes.
I'm gonna when we get to Canada, I'm gonna high five you. I literally punch you in the face and see how you like it.
And Jordan makes a good point as well. Said Peter would get in the zombie's mind somehow.
Exactly
right.
He's resourceful.
That is a very, very good team that you've built there. I like that. We might have to throw out a poll of like how long will they last, something like that. Maybe we'll start doing that. Might have to start asking every guest that because I like
now we have to.
Love it.
Simon, some bears do wear shoes, okay? How do you know? Have you seen every bear on planet Earth, Simon?
That is very broad statement, Simon, for not knowing every bear ever.
Exactly. Well, it is time for question number 1. So just so everybody, if for those who weren't here at the beginning of the show, we've already got 10 of the 15 entrants into the 100-yard rush that we will do at the end of the show for the Scott Fishbowl invite. We've got 4 questions throughout the show that you can get additional entries, the last one being worth 2 spots. Dan.
Yes.
What is question number 1?
Right before question number 1, just real quick. So if you already have a spot, try not to answer so that way we don't get confused with the people that need a spot. So, I mean, it's fun to play along.
Yes,
but
very good point. So if you are already in Scott Fishbowl, please don't answer in the chat because we want this to be for people who are not in.
Right.
So good point, Dan. For once, you make a really good point.
Thank you. Also, my walk-off song would be Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I love that.
That's a good one.
All right. First question. What year was the first fantasy football league created? Just a year.
There we go. Question number 1. What year was the first fantasy football league? What year was fantasy created? First person to answer that in the chat will get an additional entry into our 100-yard rush. And while we wait for that answer, we will roll on to the quarterback position for my guys. Cal, you are the guest. We will go with you first. I don't think
get this over with. That's
anybody is surprised. Dan, we have an answer. Is this correct?
That is incorrect.
1984.
Incorrect.
Eric said 1967.
Also incorrect.
Wyatt said 1962.
That is correct.
That is correct. So give us a little backstory behind it. And
good job,
I
Wyatt.
will add Jordan. I think it's both his answer as well as his walk-up song, Summer of '69. So
good. So basically, it was invented by a guy named Bill Winkenbach, who was the part owner of the Oakland Raiders actually at the time. He gathered some friends in New York, and they actually just created a league, which was called the Greater Oakland Professional Pigskin Prognosticators League. I want you to say that 5 times fast.
Go ahead and say it one more time for those who didn't hear you.
The Greater Oakland Professional Pigskin Prognosticators League.
Maybe a little faster?
No, I can't do it anymore.
Okay. That's fantastic. Great.
Congratulations to Wyatt getting his
Yep.
entry.
So now Wyatt has 2. Wyatt was already in there. He did a nice video earlier.
Up those odds.
Yep. So now Wyatt is in there twice. And Eric said he should have known because he wrote an article on this. But, hey, in the heat of the moment, we did have a couple other people. Our guy Marty and Reed
those were right
also,
answers.
and Pierre all got right answers. But Wyatt got it in there first, according to our chat, by actually beat Reed by literally a second. So that hurts. So, but hopefully,
still more questions upcoming.
We will have 3 more questions after each position. We will ask questions. Taysom Hill. What a surprise! I don't think. The floor is yours,
I'm going to hurry up through this so you don't lose too many viewers while I talk up Taysom Hill here, okay? So, first of all, check the receipts. I've been saying Taysom Hill is going to start in 2021, week 1, for like a year and a half now. So
you have. I give you credit.
And here's the distinction. This is not a question of who do I think should start. This is who I think Sean Payton will start. So let's just start there because I am a Saints fan. And I do follow Sean Payton, and I follow everything that he says. So the number one reason I think that he's going to start is that he loves him. He talks about him being Steve Young. He has nothing but great things to say. And again,
now, do you think he's Steve Young?
I'm not saying he's Steve Young, but
good.
Sean Payton is saying he is, which, hey, he's pretty smart at football, right? So look, he's the one that ultimately gets to decide. So it's complicated, but the number 2 reason that I think is going to be is that the cap numbers, I believe, show that he is going to be the starter, but they have the opportunity for him to prove it. Now, it's complicated. I won't go into too many details, but that is ultimately another one of the reasons. On the competition with Jameis, first, he already beat Jameis out once none of the excuses I've heard for that make any sense. So he already beat him. Number two, he's more accurate at the throws that this offense likes to do. Derek Brown did a great article on this. If you haven't checked it out, go find it. He's Debro on Twitter. Most of you guys should know him. Fade the chalk, right? Fade the noise. He's really smart. It's a very well done article.
Very smart.
The beat writers are already starting to put things out now that say like, oh gosh, The Athletic did a deep dive and Jameis is not very good at slant patterns. 100% true. Very low completion percentage. This is an offense that Sean Payton has run, by the way, for a long time, not just because Drew's arm got tired. And none of that. Yeah, we know Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback. Stop it. The NFL did not want him to start anywhere for 2 years straight, even though he was a free agent. He's not a good quarterback. We saw him on the field throw 30 interceptions in 2019. In 2018, he couldn't beat out Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, give me a break. There's like a 7-minute video on YouTube of him throwing interceptions just from 2019, and go watch that and tell me that LASIK surgery fixes any of that. Okay, just go watch it. So the reason why I like this for fantasy and the reason why he's my guy is because in the time that he was the starter, he was the QB6. So if Sean Payton's going to make this decision, which again, I'm fully convinced that he's going to matter for fantasy. It was 21.57 points a game. That points per game, like even if you include Dak, that's 10th right there for the whole season. If you extrapolate that over the whole season. I don't think it's bad for the rest of the offense. There's a bunch of reasons why. And the most important thing probably is that he's finally going to fully be able to devote to be a quarterback. He has always been way more than just a quarterback. He's had to be in a tight end room. He's had to be in the wide receiver room. He's had to be in the kickoff return room, in the kickoff coverage room, in the punt return room, all that. He's finally going to be able to just be a quarterback. And again,
our guy Danny
I have no idea how well he's going to do.
Jameis threw 30 touchdowns as well. So you got to have some talent to be able to throw 30 touchdowns. So what do you say about that?
What I say is people are way more willing to give him a pass and think he's a good quarterback because they play in leagues that don't penalize interceptions. And guess what? In the NFL,
there's leagues like that don't penalize interceptions.
Wins and losses happen on turnovers. And Sean Payton is not going to tolerate that. That is just, it's not.
Our guy Owen said, and 30 interceptions, but I like this comment from our guy Simon. Said Sean Payton has saved his daddy in Taysom Hill's phone. Can you confirm or deny that?
Well, what I can confirm that probably Taysom is saved in his phone his son. He loves Taysom that much. Like that is what people are underestimating is how much he loves Taysom Hill.
Simon agrees with you.
Yeah.
Nick said that his wife said that Nick is better. I would say Lola is. I don't know about Nick. Lola his bulldog, but I don't know about that. All right, so I got some guys here for you. I want to ask you. So Taysom Hill is currently going as quarterback 21 according to Fantasy Data's current ADP. Would you take Taysom Hill or Trevor Lawrence, who is going? I'm going to go the guys that are directly above him. So Trevor Lawrence is going 20.
So my brain is almost always focused on Dynasty, but you're talking about
okay. So let's talk redraft for this. So redraft
Dynasty, that's easy. Trevor Lawrence,
right? Right. So just for this is redraft ADP. So redraft 2021. You're on the clock. You need a quarterback. Taysom Hill or Trevor Lawrence.
I haven't spent time doing redraft rankings, but my gut says that I don't expect Trevor Lawrence to be top 10. So give me Taysom Hill.
Dan, who would you take between those guys?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm gonna go T-Law as well.
Almost everybody else is good. Like he's going so late in drafts. That's the other beautiful part about it is he doesn't cost you anything. I've gotten him for a 2022 4th round pick. He doesn't cost you anything. Go get him.
Yeah. No, I like that. And that's the thing. That's the, for the cost, it's well worth the risk. But
it's literally Jay's favorite thing is the cost versus risk. If you get 100%. Like you said, Hill's basically free right now. So if he puts up, like even a top 15 season at that price, you're gonna win out on that.
Yep, I completely agree. So I'll give you two more. We got Tua Tagovailoa is going at quarterback 19. Would you go Tua or would you go T-Law? Excuse me, or Taysom?
That would hurt me because I do also love Tua, but give me Taysom in that. I like Tua though. I think he's better than people
I do like Tua as well. I think he's another one people are sleeping on. Carson Wentz, Dan's favorite quarterback ever, or
He's
Taysom
not
Hill?
my favorite quarterback
This
ever.
one's so easily Taysom. I think Carson Wentz is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm gonna go until we give you somebody else. So Baker Mayfield.
It's still Taysom for me. I think it's going to be. I would put him probably top 12 in my rankings for a redraft.
Okay, so I will start with Matthew Stafford or Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I think that's a good line.
Matthew. So we got Deshaun Watson at 12, Matthew Stafford at 13, Ryan Tannehill 14. Simon does make a good point. I'm sorry. Dan's favorite quarterback is Drew Lock. I was wrong on that.
Come on, Jay. You're supposed to know these things.
And Eric, who's in a league with us, said that you've got him feeling really good about the league that he has Taysom in.
He's gonna score a lot, and see, the thing is, for fantasy, you don't want it to be Jameis. Jameis is like the upside, sure, but think about, even if he is the quarterback, what do we hate when it was Drew Brees? Taysom would come in and steal touchdowns, right? So if there is a world where Jameis becomes the quarterback, then Taysom's going to steal a bunch of those touchdowns. Like Jameis,
that's what I think is going to happen. I've said this all offseason. I think it's going to be what it was last year, but more Taysom and less Jameis. Yeah. I think it's going to be a mess for fantasy. I think Sean Payton, he is extremely smart, but he likes to think he's the smartest guy in the NFL, and he wants to prove that he can do it with two quarterbacks. So I think it's going to be where if Breeze and Taysom was 80-20, I could see it being more of a 60-40 Jameis to Taysom type of thing. So that's my prediction. What's going to happen?
A lot of people are with you.
Yes, so Jay. The Saints fan went with the Saints quarterback. The Eagles fan, who are you going with?
Jalen.
Surprise, surprise. So is this a fandom show, or is this a show about my guys?
This is both currently.
All right, so give us your pitch. Why is he your guy?
So everyone with, the facts are he completed just 52% of his passes, which was the worst out of like 41 quarterbacks. But a lot of those passes were deep shots, which are very low completion percentage. And even though he only completed that, like about 50% of his passes, he still averaged from weeks 14 through 17, 24 points per game. So it's not like the fact that he wasn't that good of a passer, held him back from scoring points. And this isn't who's the best quarterback. It's who's the best fantasy producer. So now he has an entire offseason with a new coach that's going to build a system completely around what he can do. He got his old buddy back in DeVonta Smith, which they drafted at 10th. And they have Rager, Miles Sanders, drafted Gainwell, who a lot of people were shocked that he fell to the 5th round, and who's a good receiving back. They still have Dallas Goedert. So he has some decent, players to work with. And he still has his rushing floor. So I think, he could definitely be a top 10 guy. Even if he improves like even 8% on his completion percentage, that's the 52% is his floor. People are acting like he can't improve. He was a rookie last year. I just don't understand why some people think that what we saw from Jalen Hurts last year was his peak. It wasn't. It was his floor. So I think
it's very similar to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was done.
I was going to say he started 4 games just like Lamar Jackson started 4 games at the end of his rookie season, and his stats were actually better. I don't even want to look and see what Danny's saying in there in the chat. I know he's an Eagles fan. I'm just going to block it out. I'm not even going to click on it.
You put Danny's comment up right now.
All right. Let's see what Danny said. He said, yeah, Dan gassed Jalen got up. I need this energy. I will not say that last part, though. Dan, you can say that.
No, you got to say it. You got to say
I'm not saying that.
You're the host.
Refuse
You're
to
the
say
host.
That. No.
You got to say
I
it.
will not. Nope. It ain't happening. But that being said, I'm with you. I think that if everything comes together, Jalen Hurts could be a top 5 quarterback pretty easily. The reason that these guys, they call him the Konami code QB, all he has to do is get 40, depending on the scoring format, 40 to 60 rushing yards. That's an extra touchdown. All he has to be is average passing, get 1 or 2 touchdowns. And similar, Cal, why you like Taysom Hill? And with that being said, if Taysom is the starter, I like Taysom Hill as well. I just don't think he's going to be. That's why I think he's definitely Taysom Hill, though, his cost right now, Jalen Hurts is going as QB 10. That's getting a little pricey for me, to be honest with you, with the risk. I like Jalen Hurts, But if he's going at quarterback 10, I don't know if I could take him there. Like I've said 100 million times, Dan, the reason Lamar Jackson was so valuable 2 years ago is he was basically free.
Yeah.
That you're buying a lot of the risk when it comes to Jalen Hurts at 10. Where would you be comfortable drafting him? If you're on the clock redraft league, what round do you think?
Is it Superflex or 1 QB?
Yeah, let's say Superflex. Let's say
Superflex. Well, I mean, all the Superflex I've got him in. I got him.
I'll give you a little time to think because we do have some questions in the chat. You said third round?
Yeah, third round.
Cal, what about you? Superflex, what round do you think you'd feel comfortable taking Hurts?
So I can tell you DLF's ADP that they have on the site. He's QB 14 in startups in Superflex right now. That's Dynasty. Okay. That's not redraft. But yeah, I mean, I think some of that there's some hesitancy baked in because I don't think the Eagles are fully committed to them. I think he could have a great year and they could still be looking to replace him. That's my dynasty fear of Jalen Hurts. But redraft, he could absolutely explode. You mentioned the thing that's concerning, that the 52% completion, but I'm going to mention him again. I wasn't planning on mentioning him twice, but Derek Brown did an article that dropped today on Jalen Hurts, and it was really smart.
I read that. It was an amazing article.
It really is. And he talked about how the offense, I can't remember if it was in the article or if it was me talking to him separate, but the offense itself was not suited last year for Jalen Hurts, but bringing in Nick Sirianni and what he expects from that, like that should fit him better. So, it remains to be seen, but yeah, I mean, I think he could be a guy that even at 10, you could still get some profit in that ADP because of everything he does with his legs.
Right. Just going off the play action, the fact that if Sirianni takes any part of the Indy offense with them, they love throwing to running backs. Just that alone, converting some of those deep ball shots that were incomplete into running backs in the flat and letting Miles and
I'm
Kenny
still super high on Miles Sanders. I know everybody's out, but I'm still all in on Miles Sanders. I think he's extremely talented, but I hate saying good things about Eagles, but
you always say good things about Eagles somehow. I just think his floor is pretty safe from a fantasy perspective, and his upside is top QB. Honestly.
Yeah, you're right. I completely agree. I hate to agree with you, but it is what it is.
Wait, what did you say?
I coughed. I had something. I completely agree, Dan. You were right.
Okay, thank you.
We have a couple questions from the chat, and this goes back to our Taysom Hill talk. So, Cal, we'll start with you. Are you down on Kamar if Hill is the starter?
No, Sean Payton's smart, and Sean Payton is going to use his best player. The reason why there was a downtick. This is people like to accept easy answers. There was a downtick with Alvin Kamara last year that correlated with Taysom Hill being the starter, but correlation does not equal causation. People look deeper. He was hurt. He didn't practice at all that week leading up to the first week with Taysom Hill. His usage was not based on Taysom Hill being the starter. It was based on he was hurt. And then you saw in the game against the Eagles, he was used a lot more, targeted a lot more. So no, I'm not worried about Alvin Kamara from that standpoint at all.
Yeah, I completely agree with pretty much everything
you
said.
That was a great game, the Eagles game. No reason why.
What happened? Any particular reason?
I think Miles Sanders stiff-armed Malcolm Jenkins to the netherworld.
He sure did.
Dustin Brown said he's down on Kamara if he's the starter.
Yes,
so.
Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah.
It's really a belief in Sean Payton, and it's no.
Well, our guy. So if Winston starts, if Winston starts, you're down on Thomas, because I know the whole slant thing. Slant boy, blah blah blah. But Thomas can run other routes. It's just the offense. It's Drew Brees' noodle arm. I think that he's going to show a lot of people. I'm not saying this, Dan. You can say it.
Jay loves the Eagles. Go Birds.
Our guy Owen says Minshew's not showing voluntary OTAs. Do we see him getting traded potentially?
No, there's no spot for him to go.
I think if the Broncos didn't trade for Teddy Bridgewater, maybe I could have saw the Broncos, but I don't think he's going to wind up anywhere else. Cal, what do you think?
I was just trying to go through my head on where I think he could be a good fit. Like, I think he's a great story, but I don't think he was as good as people remember.
He's a poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Everybody likes him. Everybody likes the Fu Manchu, the mullet, the It looks like he's about to drop the hottest country album in 1996 with his outfits, but he's just not that good.
Maybe he'll move to tight end.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, he's got to wait till he's like 32, 33 before he does that. So
Yeah.
Jordan said he could go to Philly.
First. Yeah.
Well, he could be third string in Philly if he wants. So sure.
And Jay said that MT Kamara are making too much money for them not to be utilized.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Cal, do you think do you think that Winston has a better deep ball than Hill does?
Yes. Absolutely. But the offense that Sean Payton runs, going all the way back to his days with Kerry Collins, when he was offensive coordinator calling plays there, the offense that he runs,
took Kerry Collins to the Super Bowl.
The offense that he runs is short area passing. Like that, you have to be proficient there and really good there. And Hill is better than Winston there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Agreed.
But yes, Winston's better at the intermediate game and the long game, sure. But yeah, that's not the offense that he runs.
Went to the Super Bowl with Kerry Collins, Ike Hilliard, and Joe Jurevicius. So there's some names that
that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, I went.
That was a great offensive performance by the Giants in that Super Bowl. I think they scored a total of nothing.
No, they scored 7 points.
That was a special teams touchdown.
I know. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the NFC Championship game where they scored. I do because I went to the game, and that was my first Giants game ever.
No one
cares
cares
with
about
my
that
dad.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
Cal cares. Yeah,
exactly. I care.
Yeah, and Eric says that Minshew to the Giants, he could be the bridge for Danny, the next guy. Yeah, nice try. So we're all in on Danny.
He would be an upgrade over Danny, to be honest.
Yeah, nice try. All right, well, I'm going to go to my next guy. Speaking of Daniel Jones, you guys went with the quarterbacks from your team, but I'm not. I'm going with one Mr. Kirk Cousins, and I'll tell you why. He is currently being drafted as the 20th quarterback off the board, according to fantasy data. He was quarterback 13 last year. He had a higher points per game than Baker Mayfield, your boy Drew Brees, Big Ben, and even Joe Burrow. He was one of 6 quarterbacks to have at least 35 passing touchdowns and over 4,200 yards. I think he is the perfect quarterback 2 for a Superflex league. I would prefer him. I like to go a little safer with my quarterback 2. I shoot for upside with quarterback 1, and then I want that guy that, he's not a running quarterback. He's not going to give you that production, but he's got a safe floor, and look at his weapons. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. He's got a breakout tight end, potential breakout tight end in Irv Smith Jr. He's got Dalvin Cook who can catch the ball. He's somebody that is always getting disrespected, and I don't understand. And this is for me, it's people see the performance in terms of real football, but Blake Bortles was perfectly fine for fantasy. So he's my Blake Bortles. He's somebody who, it's not pretty, he's not somebody I necessarily want leading my real NFL team, but going 20th off the board where he was pretty much a quarterback 1, I will take that value all day, every day. He's got the weapons. You guys' thoughts on Kirk Cousins?
I just love that I comp my guy to Steve Young and you comped yours to Blake Bortles. I think that's great.
That pretty much says it all. I can't really add more to that. I mean,
I can't deny.
That's
Hey, Blake Bortles had some good fantasy seasons. So
garbage time MVP.
Hey, it still counts in fantasy.
Here's my only fear is that I think the defense is going to be better this year. I think they upgraded some things on that defense. That's the only part that makes me wonder. Like, they don't mind turning around and just handing the ball off over and over and over again. They don't want to be even in the middle of pass attempts. So he's got to be efficient, and he can be, especially like you said with those weapons.
Right. I mean, he supported 2 top 10 wide receivers last year. It's a situation. Buy the cake when you can't buy the icing.
Yep.
Dan, any thoughts?
I agree with you. I think people care too much.
Hold on. Can you say that? Can you say that one more time?
I agree with you.
Okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that people care too much about his like real life performances and not what he can do for fantasy. In fantasy, he's been, pretty consistent QB for like, it seems like 10, 15 years now. So I where you're going to get him in league, like he is the perfect example of why you would wait for a quarterback, because you can always get him in the last couple of rounds and he can pretty much give you probably maybe 75 to 80% of what Mahomes would give you.
Absolutely. Well, with us being done with, let's see what Jordan says here. He said that Bridgewater supported 3 wide receiver 2, but nobody wants him. That's because nobody cares about Teddy Bridgewater and anybody on the Carolina Panthers. Just kidding, Jordan. I love you. But wide receiver 2s, there's a big difference between 3 wide receiver 2s.
I'm pretty sure people care about Christian McCaffrey there, Jay. I'm pretty sure people care about him.
Not who? I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell.
No, of course not.
Well, with that being said, we're done with the quarterbacks. We are going to go to question number 2 for the spot to try to win an entry into the Scott Fish Bowl 11. Dan, the floor is yours. And remember, reminder, according to our chat, it could show up different people, and Cal can vouch for us. What shows up in our chat, the first person to get it right is who wins. So, Dan, what is question number 2?
That's the real reason we have Cal on the show, so we can verify everyone.
Exactly.
People trust Cal.
Hurricane scored. Sorry.
There we go.
All
right. Question number 2. Who holds the record for most fantasy points by QB in a game since 1990?
And just as a reminder as well, if you are already in Scott Fish Bowl, please don't answer in the chat. Just
Simon.
Make it a little. Scott told me that Simon's not in anymore. He revoked his.
Good.
So Simon's not in anymore. But
all right.
So say the question one more time. All right.
We have some answers.
Well, we've got an answer, but you said that.
Let me repeat the question.
Oh.
Who has the record for most fantasy points by QB in a game since 1990?
Is it Michael Vick?
It is Michael Vick.
Did you not say that?
Yes,
this gentleman has already.
Next person.
The next one is.
There it is.
The reason that Eric does not count is he won an entry on another show, so he already has one. So the read option was the second one that we have that got the correct answer. Michael Vick.
Yes. It was the Monday Night Massacre against Washington in November of 2010, where the first play of the game, he absolutely destroyed Laurent Landry with an 87-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson. It was against Don McNabb.
Is that the play that Ray GQ tweeted out from like the 5-yard line?
Yep, that's the one. That's it.
Yep,
That's
that
the
thing
game.
went viral. So Reed now has 2 entries. It's cool, Eric. I appreciate you doing exactly what we asked not to. So thanks a lot for that, buddy. Appreciate that. So what do you guys think?
By literally 1 second too. Like, you got to be faster here, Reed. Come on, like, this is a competition.
I know. So what are we going to do, Eric? I mean, Eric was in our contest. So what do you guys think we should do for Eric's spot? We're going to have an extra spot in the. Should just take him out? You think?
The person that gets the last question gets 3 spots because it's an insane question.
Okay, that works.
You know it is.
Yes,
it's technically a 3-part question too, so it fits.
So yeah, whoever gets the last question gets not 2 but 3 entries. Danny, it's rigged because you think that drumsticks are better than flats, so that's why I had to rig this against you. Yeah,
drumsticks
Eric said probably wrong, but
he spells it wrong.
Eric says, yeah, maybe if you spelled it the right way. But no, sorry about that. Well, Pierre said Nick Foles.
Oh my God.
All righty. Let's roll on to running backs. Cal, we're going to start with you since you're the guest. Who is your guy this year at the running back position?
All right, so the running back position, I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he's a guy that I think there's a reaction to him because we were taking him in the first round last year. We were expecting way too much, in my opinion, about a rookie, and every now and then this happens where you get a rookie that underperforms or doesn't perform the way we want him to, and then the overreaction the next year goes too far. So he's going right now.
Tell me Twitter overreacts.
That's impossible. That doesn't happen.
And fantasy owners overreact.
I don't believe you.
He's going as the RB17. This is in Dynasty leagues, which is crazy for a running back as young as he is on an offense like the Chiefs. So listen to what they did. So he finished as RB19 last year. So he's a rookie. It was only 13 games, and he was the RB19, which is still, guys, that's fine. Like, it's not like, sure, it's not what you hoped for when you drafted him in the first round, but you shouldn't have drafted him in the first round. Own that one. That's on you. In the offseason, here's what they did. They got left guard Joe Thuney from New England. He's a stud. Left tackle Orlando Brown from Baltimore. Stud. Center, they drafted Creed Humphrey, one of the best interior offensive linemen in the draft. Got him. The right guard, Laurent Duvernay, he was out last year in Canada using his medical degree to fight COVID. He's back on the offensive line and is going to be an upgrade there. They talked Kyle Long out of retirement to come back. He's back on the offensive line. So it was a makeshift offensive line he was running behind last year. He is like, a lot of people are worried about the goal line work. I'm not worried about it, mostly because, yeah, sure, he was 2 out of 10 from the goal line. The whole rest of the team was 1 out of 6. It's not like they were proficient in the running game down there at all. And when you watch it back, to me, like, those weren't walk-ins that he just missed.
Right. The play, I was just about to say that. If you watched a lot of those plays, it was terrible play calling. He was basically running into a wall every single time. Like, I don't think anybody could have got, other than maybe Bear Sanders, could have gotten in on most of those touchdowns. So that's a situation where you can't just read a box score. You got to actually watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did not fumble last year as a rookie. That's huge on a team like the Chiefs. And they got to figure out how to use them in the running game more, or in the passing game more, excuse me. But they're going to figure out how to use him. This is a guy that's been a first-round pick on that Patrick Mahomes loves. They're going to do that. And guess what? They're going to have to. They tried to get pass catchers this offseason. They did not bring in a legitimate one. He is going to need to be part of that passing game.
That was a beautiful answer. I love it.
I completely agree. I'm still in on CEH, and I was upset last year because I liked him where he was going before Damian Williams opted out. He was going 3rd round, something like that. That was perfect. I've always thought Damian Williams is just a guy. I don't think he's anybody special. I think he was a product of that system. Then he opts out, shot up to that first round. He was going 101 in some dynasty leagues. That's just, I think you hit the nail on the head. The expectations are just there. He was never going to return value there, like Dan likes to make fun of me that I always talk about. What do you guys think?
It's a point.
Right.
Also, I drafted him at 106, so it happens. It's 106. It wasn't 101. I mean, it was him or Zeke, and I was going to take him every time. I'm not going to.
Eric blames his mom, so if you don't get into the Scott Fish Bowl, it's your mom's fault. That's basically what you're saying. So, Danny was laughing at my comment that I'm not going to let him win because flats are better than drums. Simple as that. So, with that being said. Owen said that he loves CEH this year. Marty wants to know CEH or Dubins. I wonder if he's related to Dobbins, possibly. We'll assume Dobbins, I guess, in this situation. So, Cal, who are you going with, CEH or Dubins?
My maybe most unpopular take, even more than my Taysom Hill take, is that I don't think Dobbins ever returns the value that we want him to. It's not that I don't like Dobbins. I love the player. I don't think the Ravens are ever going to give him the amount of work we want them to. They brought out Gus Edwards back. He's like, I'm not saying he can't do what Mark Ingram did a couple of years ago, but he's got to have an unbelievable, Ingram added 5 receiving touchdowns that year. Do you understand how insane that is? I don't think Dobbins is doing the same thing. I don't think he's going to have that same proficiency at the goal line that he did. I love the talent. Love the talent. I don't think he's going to get the volume that fantasy owners need. And so to me, this is Clyde, because I think he's got a better chance of getting that volume.
Yeah, I hate to just continue to agree, but I agree with everything you said. I think in that system, I think Dobbins' ceiling is back end RB1. He's never going to get the volume, like you said, to make that leap into the top 5, top 3 back. So Dan, who are you going with, CH or Dubins?
definitely CEH. It's been chronicled here a lot of times how much I absolutely hated Gus Edwards for taking all of the work away from Dobbins last year. And honestly, we all know the best goal line running back on that team is Lamar Jackson. So you have to take that in consideration. And like Kyle made a great point. Draft capital spent on CEH. They're going to have to get him involved. They didn't draft that many pass catchers. So that the fact that they just kept running him into the back of the O lineman at the goal line because they kept selecting halfback dive for Madden for some reason.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Arch is tuned in. We thank you for tuning in. He said he's about to go to work and he still get an entry somehow. Let's do this. Let's get crazy. Dan, let's go with question number 3 right now and give Arch a chance.
Okay. Yeah,
question number 3 right now.
I wasn't ready.
Pull it up.
All
It
right.
doesn't matter. And
All
my
right,
nephew's
all right.
in the chat watching the Hurricanes game with me.
Here we go.
2-0 Parker. 2-0 Hurricanes.
All right. Which kicker holds the record for most made field goals in a game without missing? Shout out Linda.
Shout out Linda, who now there is, thanks to Linda, there is kickers in Scott Fish Bowl this year, which is going to be interesting to say the least. So reiterate the question one more time.
Sure. Which kicker holds the record for most made field goals in a game without a miss?
Here we go. First person to answer that question gets an entry. Akers. Is it Akers?
Good guess.
It is not
Akers. Koo.
Nope.
Vinatieri.
No.
O. Is it O?
It is not O.
Okay. Vanderjack.
No.
I like that banner Jack. Like you.
Snaders.
Nope.
Not Sanders.
Nope.
The dude Tennessee. Matt Stover.
No.
So many guesses.
No. Bailey. Is it Bailey?
No.
Rob Baronis.
It is Rob Baronis.
Rob Baronis.
Oh.
He went 8 for 8 on October 21st, 2007 against the Houston Texans.
I vividly remember that game.
Guessing.
Yep, but he's already in it. He needs to stop with that. But
Yeah.
yes,
Stop putting his answers.
I didn't even. I'm just clicking answers. That Rob Baronis, as we all know, Jake Seeley is the leader of the anti-kickers movement. He wrote an article why, and Rob Baronis was the inspiration for that. So, fun fact there. Rob Baronis is the reason I hate kickers in fantasy as well. So, that is a good one. So that is the third entry for Wyatt.
Yeah, he's racking them up.
He's got a good chance. So we've got Wyatt has 3. The read option has 2.
Everyone else has 1.
Yep. And then the last question will be worth 3. So, Arch, sorry, we wanted to go ahead and give you a chance. I can't just give it to you, but I at least threw it up there a little early for you. So, CEH was the talk. Dane, we will roll to you. You decided to switch your answer from what you told us.
Yes.
Who is your running back that is your my guy?
Okay, so let me pull it up. So the running back that's my guy is more of a deep dive sleeper type. It's Lynn Bowden from Miami. So, Miami right now, they drafted a bunch of pass catchers. They got Waddle, they signed Fuller. So finally, Preston Williams is no longer a thing, so we don't have to ever hear his name in this show again. Thank God. So they still have Parker, but with the running backs, even though Gaskin has been solid, they aren't really anything special. Bowden can line up in the backfield, line up in the slot. He can definitely be that late round PPR running back that can put in a couple of really good flex weeks and win you a game in the playoffs. I'm not saying he's ever going to be a top 10, top 15, even top 20 running back because he's not. The volume isn't going to be there for him. But if you're definitely looking for a guy that's going to be there in the late rounds, that could be your running back 4 or 5, and that can win you a couple of weeks, definitely look and pick him up.
You got Steffi hanging out with us as well. Hey, Steffi, appreciate your
What's
hopping
up,
in.
Steph?
Now, I got to say, Dan, do you drop him in your rankings for his tattoo skill level?
No.
You sure? Did you see that tattoo?
I saw it, but unfortunately, I don't take tattoos into my rankings consideration.
I generally don't, but that one was so bad.
It was awful. It was the
Yeah.
worst.
If you haven't seen it, go Google it right now. Make sure the children are put away because that thing is pretty bad. So I like it. I like the deep dive. So you haven't seen it yet, Cal?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm about to go find it.
Yeah, pull it up.
Oh man, hold on. Let me see. I'll pull it up.
While we're waiting, a little fun fact. Apparently, I share a birthday with Steph's dad.
Really?
Yeah. So
here, I will. I'll put it up on the screen real quick.
Eric,
he gave himself this tattoo?
Yes.
Oh.
Look at that. Yeah.
That is awful. Lynn, what are you doing?
Steffi said, what a time to jump in. It's what nightmares are made of.
It looks like a slug. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh. It's a slug. A slug is a nice way to put it, Dan. Steffi said that was the best day to be born.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and this is my favorite. I love the new Miami logo on there. That's fantastic. That is definitely going to be somebody's fantasy logo this year.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be at least half of fantasy football's logo.
No doubt. No doubt. I like the call.
It's the thought process that he was like, this is so great. I nailed this. I'm going to take a picture and put it on the internet. Like that.
Steffi said that Lynn Bowden follows her on Twitter. That she's going to unfollow him for this.
Yeah.
He might need to might deserve a block, to be honest.
You got to rethink that.
Yeah. You sure you want him as your my guy, Dan?
I'm sure. I mean, honestly, I blame his friends more because you can't say that he went to someone and asked if that was a good idea and someone agreed with him. So I blame the people that surround him for not talking him out.
He did it himself.
I know, but he had to. I mean, you don't just do it spontaneously. I'm sure he talked to somebody before he did it.
No, I think they said that he was talking to a reporter or something, and he just grabbed his tattoo gun, and as he's talking to somebody,
that reporter's for not stopping that atrocity. That's who I'm blaming here.
Yeah, and that is true. The quads are definitely a downgrade. Nothing too there. But Cal, what are your thoughts on Lynn Bowden? Do you think you like to call?
I have him ranked as my 55th running back. He's in the Jordan Howard, Ty Johnson range down there. So I don't know. I mean, certainly a dart throw. I liked when I thought he was going to be with the Raiders when they drafted him because I thought, okay, they could use some pass catchers. The Dolphins brought in Waddle. They brought in Fuller. I don't know what his usage is going to look like. So it's hard for me to invest too much, but I don't mind as a last spot on my roster kind of guy.
Got JL in the chat dropping his Kalo K. What's up, JL?
Hey, JL.
Appreciate you hopping in. Yeah, and I like it as a dart throw. I think, I think they could use him in, use him out of the backfield, use him in the slot, all over the place. So I'm high on Tua this year. I'm high on the Dolphins offense. So not high on the Dolphins tattoo, but offense. So
that is not a dolphin.
We got to pull that up one more time.
Yeah, I'm moving it out right now.
Just
it's a tadpole. It's a tadpole. That's what
it's a tadpole. It's a pollywog.
There you go.
With that being said,
just for that, him below Keyshawn Vaughn.
Wow. Ooh, that's messed up. That's as low as it gets. Is that like dead last?
It's pretty close.
Well, with that being said, my guy is one of the most divisive players in all of fantasy football. Dan, I know hates him. I am still in on Joe Mixon, and I'll tell you why. Right now, he's going as running back 13, and I think that's a proper value for him. I think that's right about where he should be going. There's not many guys that you're going to get around there that has the backfield to himself now, especially with Gio Bernard gone. So he's going to get the volume. He's going to get the targets. I could see him potentially being the RB1 if he's able to stay healthy. If he gets the targets, he had his average 8 yards per catch, 9th among all running backs. He had an 8% target share compared to 11% target share to Gio's 8%. So pretty close to the same. He was the running back. Where is it? Running back 8 through 6 weeks last year with Joe Burrow. This offense is going to be a lot better. Past 2 years, last year 2019, he was running back 17, but that was with Andy Dalton, and that offense fell apart. 2 years ago, he was running back 10, and that was with Andy Dalton running this offense. Two things I want my running back to have: volume, the backfield, being the backfield to himself, and targets. And Gio gone, I'm all in on Joe Mixon. I think where he's going, there's not that many guys that have the potential to be the RB1. And Steffi said, tub thumping Mixon. We were on FYF earlier today, and she said that is his theme because he gets knocked down, but he gets back up again. And Steffi's 100% right. I am all in on the Joe Mixon train. I'll go down with it. It is what it is. So I could see the looks on both of your faces. I don't think you agree with me. I know Dan doesn't. Cal, what are your thoughts?
That's not my facial expression at all. I think, yes, for his price, I do love him. Last year, he was going way earlier, and I was not on board. But this season, so here's the thing about the Cincinnati Bengals offense that people don't realize. They want to run the most amount of plays in the league. Like most amount of plays. Like they want to be on the field and run. They want to go fast. So they're
Ricky Bobby, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So with Joe Burrow last year, they were on that pace to ultimately be the team with the most amount of snaps at the end of the year on offense. They convert a lot of first downs. What they didn't do is, like third down, excuse me, highest in the league, actually, believe it or not. They just did not go into the end zone enough. And I think that's why they want to chase. That's kind of my opinion there. But as long as they've got an improved offense that is going to do what they want it to do, and as long as, is it Brandon Allen, the backup? As long as Brandon Allen is not the one taking snaps, then yes, Joe Mixon is a guy that's going to see the volume that you want out of your running back. That's going to produce that value. And going outside of the top 12,
Samaje Perine and Chris Evans, not Captain America. Chris Evans, the running back behind. If it was Chris Evans, Captain America, might be a different story. Which shout out Chris Evans, he's on the show with us, right behind us. Yep, there we go. Since you couldn't use green screen, Dan, I know you hate Joe Mixon, so go ahead and speak your piece.
So just real quick, and this is completely serious. Did you say that he could be the overall running back one?
Yes, I do that.
So here's what I'm going to do. If Joe Mixon is the running back overall running back,
I didn't say it's likely.
No. I know. Just let me. If Joe Mixon is the overall running back one, I will get a tattoo of the New York Giants on my arm.
Shut up. Well, now
I'm here first. Let's go, Joe Mixon.
But Lynn Bowden has to be the one that does it.
Fine. Deal. I'll go down and get him to do it.
I love it. I'll pay for it. I will pay for it if that happens.
The Hulk is over me. Yes, he's yes. Mm-hmm.
No explanation. The Hulk is Dan.
Yeah.
Fantasy Ladder would talk about tub thumping. Is talking about what drink, and Steffi, of course, said it's a claw surge. So.
He sings.
And Owen agreed. Before you said that, Owen said it in the chat too. He said, "Would you let Limbaum give it to you?" Absolutely. So Steffi and I are going to split it for you, Dan. If Joe Mixon. So
perfect.
I didn't say it's likely. I just said in the offense with the volume, there's a scenario that it could happen.
You and Cal make very solid points. It changes nothing about how I feel about Joe Mixon.
That's fine.
God, I want him to stay healthy so bad now.
I think all of Twitter now wants to see that. That is fantastic. I will. You know what? I will drive up to New Jersey and pay for it, and we will live stream if that happens. So
also, 100%. I don't honestly, to be serious, but with the receiving work, with them getting chased, I don't think he's going to get as much receiving work as everyone expects, maybe because the trio of receivers they have is like bananas. So if they put either Boyd in the slot, that's going to take some of the work that we expect him to have away. Not saying that he's not going to be a solid running back, because he is. He's going to be a solid running back. Like I might be like a hater or whatever, but Joe Mixon is going to be.
I don't want him as my running back one. I want him. Right. I would love him as my RB2.
Right. He would be a decent RB2. There's just no way he's going to be running back one overall. There's no chance.
You better hope so. So
I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Not even a little bit of worry.
What a surprise, Dan. We're running long, so let's we gotta put a little pep in our
Pick
step.
this up. All right.
Yeah. So do you want to go to the question now or after wide receivers?
Let's do after
You know
receivers.
what, why don't we do it now? Because it's probably going to take people a while to get it, don't you think?
Okay. All right. So I have to make sure
the last question that is worth 3 spots in the 100-yard rush for the Scott Fish Bowl entry. So 3 spots. It is a 3-part question. Dan, go ahead.
Here we go. All right. So in NFL history, so the entire history of the NFL, name the wide receiver that had a 1,000-yard season with the fewest catches. How many catches did he do it in, and in what year?
So 3-part question. And I am going to actually copy this from our notes and put it up on the screen because that is a lot. Give me just 1 second. Oh, it's
Good
too
question.
much text to go in there. So go ahead and repeat that while I'm doing this, Dan.
Sure. So name the wide receiver that had a 1,000-yard season with the fewest catches in NFL history. How many catches did he do it in, and in what year?
So this is the final question. I had to split it up. This is worth 3 entries in the 100-yard rush for the Scott Fish Bowl entry. Name the wide receiver that had a 1,000-yard season with the fewest catches in NFL history. How many catches and in what year? We will continue to go on. Danny's official guess is sheesh. So
Close. It's close. That's
very
a
close.
I applaud the effort there.
Wyatt said A.J. Brown, 52 in 2019.
No.
All right. Well, let's
It's
keep
less
rolling
than
while we...
52?
What?
Less than 52 is the number?
Yes. Less than 52 is the number.
Eric said Deshaun Jackson, 56, 2010. Dan, you tell me. I'm not going to put up every answer. We have the right one, but I think we just got the right one. Did we
He
not?
got the right one. He got it. He nailed it.
Fantasy Ladder got it.
Wow.
But what year? He didn't put the year. So that's
Oh, so we need the year. So I say he gets 2. If he does get the year,
there it is.
Nope, he got it. He got the whole thing.
There it is.
There
got
it
it.
is.
The whole thing.
So go ahead. What's it? Who say Albert?
That was close.
Yeah.
It's Albert Dubenian from the Buffalo Bills.
42 catches. Wow. So I'm going to add the fantasy ladder. Do that real quick. So got an additional 3. So fantasy ladder has 4 because he's taking over fantasy nav spot since he won one. Let's roll through these guys real quick since we're rolling on an hour and 10 minutes already. Cal, who is my guy for wide receivers?
John Ross. No, I'm kidding. Giants fan. Sorry. It's Deontay Johnson. And, I think there was a lot of hype on him last year. I think the drops became a huge part of the conversation with him, but I'm not really worried about drops. Matt Harmon does a really good breakdown on why you should not be worried about drops. I'll defer to him. What I do know is
if Matt Harmon says you can ignore something when a wide receiver, he's probably someone you can listen to.
Yes. What I do know is he's talented, and when he's on the field, he gets the ball a lot. Okay, so talent and opportunity is what we're looking for in fantasy. He's got the talent. 3.6 yards of separation on average in 2019, 3.2 in 2020 via next-gen stats. He's got great route running. That is absolutely something that earns the targets that he gets. He doesn't just get targets because Ben likes him. He's open. That's why he's getting the ball. When he gets the ball, he does a good job of breaking tackles. He does a really good. He's great at that. He had the 7th most targets in the NFL last year, despite missing a game and coming out in the first quarter and 2 others. So when you look at his targets per game, they were 11.4 when you take out those 2 games that he exited in the first quarter. And that, like last year, Devontae Adams had 11. Stephon Diggs had 10.5. It would have been number 1 in the NFL for targets per game. So he's going to see the ball a lot. I know they brought in Najee Harris. I still expect him to throw, and I still expect him to see a really large target share. So, yeah.
You beat me to the question. Now it's going to be my question. Any concerns for the Pittsburgh passing offense bringing in Najee Harris? They obviously want to run the ball. First round pick.
I think they wanted to run the ball last year and they couldn't. We'll see if Najee Harris can change that. I hope he can. But even if they do, when you reverse back to 2019, James Conner was the RB6, and you still had Antonio Brown. You still had Juju Smith-Schuster doing really well in that offense, plus the tight end did really well. So that offense supported a lot of very good weapons, even though there was a running back who did really well. And I like Harris. I don't see him as the RB6.
All right. Well, Dan, who's your wide receiver?
So my wide receiver is someone that Twitter knows very well, and Robert Woods.
AKA
so really
Bobby
quick,
Trees.
Robert Woods was the 13th. Bobby Trees. Robert Woods was wide receiver 13 last year. So let me get it up. Jared Goff's deep ball percentage last year was 27%. Last year, Matthew Stafford's deep ball percentage was 43%. Woods' yards per target last year was 7.2. So if you do a lot of complex math, that means Woods is going to up his yards per targets. He's going to get some more deep balls, more catches, more fantasy points, better finish than wide receiver 13. The end. Math.
There we go. And apparently Fantasy Ladder agrees with you. So I will go through mine real quick, and then we'll just touch on our tight ends. We'll just throw the names out. Amar Cooper, as a Giants fan, you would think I wouldn't like to talk about division rivals, but he's going currently as the wide receiver 15 overall. People still claim that he's inconsistent. He only had less than 10 points 3 games last year. Only one of those games was with Dak Prescott, and it was the game that he got hurt. He had 10 games over 15 points. He had over 1,100 yards, almost 100 catches, 5 touchdowns with guys like Ben DiNucci, Garrett Gilbert, and our friend Mr. Andy Dalton. So a healthy Dak, I think he's a lock for the top 10. I think that I know I said it for Joe Mixon. I think that Amari Cooper could potentially push for the wide receiver 1 overall if things break right. I think that the defense is still going to be terrible. I know we've got CeeDee Lamb there, but I think that's only I think they're going to help each other. We see it all the time. Last year with Kirk Cousins throwing the ball, even though I was talking good about him earlier, he had Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen as top 10. I could easily see a scenario where both CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper are top 10. I like where he's going. I think that, and he was also the 4th Cowboys player in history to catch over 90 passes. So with Dak, it's almost a lock. He would have got over 100. And through 4 weeks, he was the leading receiver for yardage with 401, and he had 37 catches before Dak got hurt. So I'm all in on Mr. Amari Cooper.
I love how Michael Gallup just ceases to exist.
And, basically, once they drafted CeeDee Lamb, he did. He disappeared. It was like Thanos. But Eric said he loves to take, and he completely agree. He was on 176 target pace last year with Dak. That is insane. Well, since we are running long, we will just drop our names for the tight ends. And if you want to drop a quick fact with them, Cal, Noah Fant, that's your tight end, my guy. Give us a little something on him.
Open up a new tab in your on your screen. Go incognito. You're going to want to do that because it's not safe for work. Open up player profiler for Noah Fant. It's not safe for work. Your sweatpants are going to move. It's great. He is a tremendous athlete. He's great.
That is true.
Take him.
All right, Dan, you had Dawson Knox. Give us a little something.
Dawson Knox ended the year with 4, 7, and 8 targets. So if he gets that kind of, target share and maybe 1 or 2 red zone targets, he could be a nice late round dart throw.
You think there's any chance that the Bills go after Zach Ertz?
Yes, there's a great big chance. So I hope they don't do that. It renders this portion of the show completely irrelevant.
Well, generally when you talk, it's completely irrelevant. So we're used to that by now. But
that hurts.
I love you, Dan. You know that. My guy is Gerald Everett. And basically my whole argument is if Russell Wilson can make guys like Will Dissly and Jacob Hollister relevant, somebody as talented and who is an athletic freak like Gerald Everett, he's a guy that I will take a shot on at the end of every draft. If I'm not getting one of those top 3, 4 tight ends, I'm going to take a shot on 2 or 3 guys, and Everett's going to be one of them.
Completely agree. Love Everett this year.
I disagree because I hate you.
No, I love you too, Dan. And Owen says he hopes that Ertz goes to the Chargers. I could definitely see that. I think he's going to wind up in Indy. I think
I
there's
will,
just
I
there's
will
smoke,
trade
there's
Ertz to
fire.
the Chargers for Keenan Allen straight up. That's fair, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Dan. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the time is here. It is time to give away this Scott Fishbowl invite. Let me pull up the tab.
Place your bets now. Not that we, are promoting gambling, but we kind of are. So,
Let's see,
Have you ever asked the guy in the chat? You call him Owen. I've always called him Ian. Have you ever asked him how to pronounce his name?
Yep.
Yes,
He actually, Owen has watched since we were War Room Live. He tunes in all the time. Appreciate you, Owen. Yes, we asked him how to pronounce it, and he said it's Owen.
I'll correct that.
Yep. We asked it because I did the same exact thing, and I said, you know what? How do you pronounce your name? And he drew it in the chat. So we remember you, Owen, and we appreciate you tuning in.
He's been with us since the beginning. We love him.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So we've got everybody in there. Fantasy Ladder took the place of Fantasy Nav. All right. Cal, pick a number. We're going to shuffle it however many times you say.
We're going to go 8 for Cal Ripken.
There we go.
There we go. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shuffled 8 times. Let me get it to the full screen.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah. This is the third show of the week I've been on where an SFB invite is going out.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
I love
this week. A lot of people are going. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's see. It's generally whoever starts off really fast doesn't win.
Right.
We'll see if that's true or not. I don't know the very bottom. Looks like the read option and the read option are early up. So what division did you guys pick for Scott Fishbowl?
Like the bands?
Yeah.
I got Queen.
That's a good one.
And Green Day.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good. So mine's so eclectic. I did Pearl Jam.
Nice.
And Eminem.
That's a good one. Okay. I've changed mine a few times, but the two that I have currently is Linkin Park and Kanye West. So
Linkin Park is a good one too.
I love Linkin Park. Yeah.
Linkin Park is good. I love Linkin Park.
I got to see them live twice, man, and they put on an amazing show.
This is a story. It's kind of a sad story. I actually had tickets to their June 6th show at MSG,
man.
and then everyone knows what happened. So
right. Here we go. The read option.
So close.
Read option's gonna take it. Wait, no.
Read option.
Read option wins.
So close.
Read option. Fantasy Ladder was second and third. At the read option, congratulations, my friend. You have officially won a spot into the Scott Fishbowl. Congratulations. Close this out.
He was letting Eric beat him in the chat the whole time, but he showed up when it mattered in the 100-yard dash. He was fast there when it mattered. Good job, Reed.
Congratulations, my friend. Now, to make sure you are signed up at Scott Fishbowl, because that will disqualify you if you are not signed up at Scott Fishbowl. So make sure you are actually signed up. Sorry, everybody else. I wish we had more to give out, but we were given one. I will say there are a lot of other invites still being given out. Cal, you guys have any more to give out? I know you said you were part of a few.
No, this was number 3 with the Vipers. We gave one away on Monday, and then
Awesome.
Me and Tyler.
He is signed up. Good man.
Yeah,
good man, Reed.
Me and Tyler gave one on Tuesday, and actually, yeah, make sure you go check that you're signed up because that happened.
And another thing too that I saw, Reed, make sure if you have changed your Twitter handle, make sure it is updated on there. You can go check the email that you signed up, use the code that Scott put in there. You can update your information, make sure it's up to date as well. So congratulations, Reed. Sorry, everybody else. I do know there's a couple other invites. Shows are given away. Front Yard Fantasy, which I'm a part of the team over there as well. We're giving away a spot next week. We're going to be, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and there's going to be a code word on every show next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to randomize it through that.
Eric made a good point.
Rum Boys tomorrow night.
Jeff Bell has a thread on Twitter where he's listing all the people that are giving away spots.
Very good point. Good friend of ours, Jeff Bell, 4, the number 4, Whom J Bell Tolls. He has a running thread of all the different contests. Give him a follow. Check that out. There are still plenty of invites to go around. Congratulations, Reed. And Cal, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Cal.
Sorry we kept you long. Tends to happen when we have a good conversation. It keeps going. I love the Captain America and the Hulk behind you. We're big Marvel fans, so love it. Absolutely love it. Anything before we go, anything you would like to say?
I'm just disappointed that I couldn't use my green screen because I had a perfect Tyler Hansborough. I was just going to have him in the background, and I just could not wait. But, you know.
This is the last time that you're invited.
You're invited anytime you want. Anytime.
And shout out to our guy, Craig from Roto Heat, another great guy. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to Going for Two. We've got a bunch of great shows. We're not the only show on this channel. We've got Danny Ocean has Speak On It. They're on every Tuesday at 7:00. We've got Debbie Show with Jeff Bell. We've got Wednesdays. We've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. A lot of shows. Go check them all out. They're all great shows.
Sorry, man. Sorry, Fantasy Ladder. Wish we could give out more, but there are plenty of other contests. Make sure you check those out. Dan, what you got working? Anything you got? Oh, go ahead.
No, one more thing. Just when this show ends. So right now, when it's done, wait till it's over. Yeah, and then, but on Vipercast, Matt is actually interviewing Vincent Smith, the wide receiver from the Jets. So go. They're still live.
Go check it out. Go on the Vipercast.
Go check
nice
that
shout
out.
out there. Yeah.
100%. Hey, we're all about. We love you guys over there.
Yeah.
More than happy to. Everybody that's watching right now, go over and watch there.
Yeah.
Go say hi.
Love the guys.
It would mean a lot in the comments for you to go say hi.
Yeah. We're going to do it too. Jay and I are going to go. Come join us.
Yep. And Matt loves when you send him feet pictures in his DM. So if you want to send Matt,
we're not that type of show. We're not.
Don't
just kidding. Don't do that.
No message, just a picture of your feet. That's all.
This is going to be our last show now. Thank you everyone for watching. We're going to be kicked off. Jeff's going to pull the plug. It's over for us. Yeah.
Well, Cal, thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on in the future. Any work that you want to plug before we head out of here?
Just check out everything I'm doing over there at Dynasty League Football and follow us on the Vipercast. And there's a lot of really cool things happening over this offseason. Some that hopefully will be announced here soon. So just follow me on Twitter and let's have some fun.
Yep. Follow him at Calvin and Hobby. And Dan, anything you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
Just check out our Jay and I's work on Roto Underworld. We're doing some great stuff there. At Ray Mars, the editor over there, is pumping out some good content. All the good writers there.
Got a great team over there.
Trying to do an article a day. So we're always, there's always great stuff coming out there. Obviously, we have the show in 2 weeks. It's going to be great. We've
got Kate Michelle from Ball Blast in 2 weeks.
Yes,
right?
I'm really excited about them.
That'll be a lot of fun.
I think we have 3 shows left before I get married. Yep. So that's good.
Yes, we got 3 shows left. We got Kate Michelle in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks after that we got Victoria Geary, and then 2 weeks after that we've got Rumboys Robbie, and then we are taking a small break before the Dan's going to get married, and then we've got the Expo, and then we've got
we're back.
Then we'll be back for football season. So still don't know exactly what our schedule is going to be, but we will come out with that announcement. And like Dan said, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Check us out in 2 weeks. Check out all the great shows on Going for Two Live. And we will see you guys when we see you.
See you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Look at my samurai sword. It's the weapon time. This is an actual sword from Japan. You thought I forgot, didn't you?
Time.
See, actual samurai sword. It's sharp.
Is this signed by Randy Jackson? That's the question that I have.
It is not signed by Randy. I wish it was, but it's not. I'm sorry. I couldn't go to Japan, man. All right. Jeez.
Yeah, we are very excited.
For his gifts. His gifts are awesome.
GIF. It's a
Whatever.
GIF.
You're a GIF.
Have a good night, everybody.
You're a GIF.